Hi, and welcome back to Inazuma 11. This is Heroic Cream Puff.
Momo Mimi. And Nut Fabulous.
And today we get to the Hellhole Dungeon. Why are there treasure chests in her office?
Because there is?
Yeah, but they look a little bit out of place, you know?
Well, hey, at least it's a reminder you can go there later.
Can you? I always got kicked out when I tried to walk in.
Well, as long as you don't go in there when there's plot going on, you can just walk right in and get those chests.
Huh. I got kicked out. Maybe you can walk in regularly later.
Mm-mm.
And anyways, her dad has, quite the haircut.
Yes, yeah, he does. I don't know why he would decided to go with something like that, but hey.
But with the glasses and the stash and the whatever you call the sideburns being cut away and then a small braided tail in the back.
Hey, at least he looks distinctive.
Well, yeah, I guess, but all the other old people you see are really old.
Ah, the secret facility.
The Hellhole Dungeon. Because, you know, it's an RPG, we had to have a dungeon at some point.
Yeah.
It just happens to be an optional dungeon most of the time. They only force you to go through it the once, right?
Yeah, it's only plot relevant, at least going through once, but then you can go back later for more training because...
A little sarcastic. Wow, that's pretty forgiving there of you, Endo. You guys think too much. I think we could accuse you of the opposite, Endo. And some bullies got their asses kicked by some other football
superhuman
team. Superhuman football team.
Brain
something. The school is called Brain something. I like how all the gangsters have, like, I don't know, roughly the same hair color. To me, at least.
Oh my god, they do!
And his name is apparently Kono?
Kono, yeah.
Well, that's a nice
I really
name.
wanted to recruit him, because he is recruitable later. He's a goalkeeper, believe it or not.
Ah, but any goalkeeper who isn't Endo is practically useless, though.
Well, at least as far as the plot's concerned.
No, just also Endo has, like, the highest, catch whatever stat. It's like, it ends up at, like, 102, naturally. That's really high. Everybody else doesn't break 100 with their stats.
Alright, well, this, one Kono, this one, member of this group of bullies is,
Gangsters.
Gangsters is asking for help. And, now we're heading to the club room to go see what it is that's, up that he needs help with.
I see you switched... You had... Whoa! What? There was Domon in the cutscene, but now it's switched to Kombeto.
No, I think that's Shadow.
That's Shadow?
Yeah.
You're walking around with 2 forwards and a defender.
Yeah.
I just walk around with a bunch of midfielders, but that's because midfielders are the best.
That is true.
Eh. He ain't been the same.
Traumatized him that much.
That now all he wants to have is football battles.
Wait!
Which are totally a thing.
I thought everyone was doing that anyway. That's not unusual.
Well, apparently for gangsters it is.
It is. Or maybe the unusual part is that he wants
Whoa,
to have
hi,
them.
Harna.
Did she just jump over Endo?
Yes, she did.
Holy shit.
That girl can move. When there's a story involved, she is there in a flash.
I can't even remember what this team was called originally, but the fact that they tried to call them Brainwashing in the dub version is just hilariously bad. I mean...
I remember it being like something Brain... Like, it was just simply just called Brain Academy in the Japanese. That was what I remember, but I could be wrong.
And they changed it to Brainwashing. Oh yeah, honey, let's send our kids to Brainwashing Academy. That's totally gonna work out well. And Kabayama is completely unchanged from whatever character development he was supposed to be having last time. And the gangster is politely explaining to us where to find their hideout.
It's like, hey, everyone should know where it is, so just in case you don't.
Yeah, it's only like, a huge section of the school.
It's literally right behind the gym. Their big, big gym.
Their huge-ass gym. Well, considering how big the chicken coop is, you figure the gym must be enormous. And there's only one chicken in that freaking coop that I could see.
No, there are a few. I remember seeing a few. Oh.
And Natsume is telling us... is more curious why the hell we're going to see a bunch of gangsters. When we should be training. Yeah, you should have known better. That wasn't gonna fly.
Not with Endo as the captain.
Nope. Oh, this is actually Natsume explaining what she does as a manager. Aki lets us refight practice matches. Haruna lets us recruit people from the school. Natsume actually allows us to track down and assumably threaten people from other schools to transfer to ours so they can join our team.
Yeah, so like soccer players from either Occult or Wild that you've faced so far that you actually thought were pretty decent players and you would like to have on your team, you can go out and talk to Natsume and she will see about getting them for you. And they will join your team.
She will have people gang press them into transferring.
Pretty much.
Although every time you ask her to do it, she kind of derides you a little.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, we were able to get this guy to come and join us, but he's waiting by the train station. Do not keep him waiting!
No, I mean, when you go to talk to her to recruit somebody, she's like, you really need to get somebody from another school, you're not good enough, and it's like, Jesus!
It's like, okay, suddenly I don't want to recruit anyone.
I don't, to be honest. I've never used her, because every time I talk to her, I feel bad. I was like,
I just ignored her.
Oh, look, the not trees.
I just ignored her and recruited people anyway. Like, I got, Chameleon and the, werewolf character from, Occult to join me.
So basically, you've been recruiting furries.
No.
I think that's what
they were midfielders. I needed more midfielders.
I think Nuts has lost it.
Really? Furries?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Chameleon is... What? No.
Well, at least you didn't recruit that leopard kid. He looked awfully shifty.
Yeah.
He's talking like a caveman, and Goenji's like, he's talking a little strangely. Goenji's a master of observation.
Ugh, play!
Good lord.
Goenji's like, no, this looks mostly normal. Goenji, time to reevaluate some things.
He might be basing it on his intelligence level.
Who knows? Why do they have so much more form than you? That's an interesting question. And here's the win button.
Goenji, instant win.
Well, eventually we find people that can block it, but not some random pompadour gangster. Yep. Oh my god, they've been crushed!
Why would they let him do that?
Kageyama, do not do that!
Well, we've lost a forward. We need a new one again. Actually, 2 forwards. Ugh.
Where are you gonna find anyone as good as Goenji?
Hokkaido!
Yeah, let's get a
Yeah,
Hokkaido.
that.
I can't perform on such short notice. That sounds like something else.
The one solution to fix everything. Hitting people with soccer balls.
Harder than you did before. Hitting them harder. Also, where did that come from?
That was the guy who was
Yeah,
trying to
but
help.
that helmet was not on his head previously.
It was supposed to be the entire time.
That's game. Why?
Oh,
They
so
couldn't-
apparently it was a side effect of the mind control device.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. That's what that
So-
looks like.
Mind control devices mean
Football. Soccer.
football and talking like a caveman.
Yes.
Basically a one-track mind to play soccer and nothing but.
I think he already had a one-track mind, they just shifted the focus of it.
This is probably true.
I would agree with that.
Oh my god, everybody's bobbing at different rates again. Ah! Thanks? Thanks? Oh, wow. We know who that is. What are you doing here? I just said that.
They're like doing a wave.
Yes, they are. Oh, she's also the head of... Right, she's the head of the student council. They don't really mention that much.
Student council isn't as important as soccer.
No, nothing is as important as soccer. Except maybe people in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's about on par with soccer currently.
Okay, so we need something, a move even better than the Inazuma drop if we're going to be taking on this Brainwashing Academy.
Or so the game tells us. We have no proof of this, but the game has just flat out told us. By the way, you need a new Hisatsu because it's the next chapter, and the drop is already apparently like chopped liver.
Not necessarily. You can still use it and still score a lot of goals.
I'm saying the plot just told you. I'm not saying it's a bad move. I'm saying the plot just said so.
Well, then the plot is wrong.
That explains a lot about this game. It doesn't explain why the trees are so wrong, but... I wonder if those are beehives, those little white coop-look things?
Yeah, that's a beehive.
Isn't it dangerous to just have beehives scattered around the grounds?
Well, no, just in that one.
No, there's been more than one. Also, good job on getting stuck on the stairs.
What can I say? I get stuck on a lot of things in life.
No comment.
Yeah, no, none. Oh, you got a Gatorade, awesome.
Really? That's a Gatorade?
It said sports drink.
Oh. Well, maybe it's Powerade instead.
So we're gonna get some advice on this this brainwashing machine, and hopefully this science professional or teacher can help us.
Professional? The science professional.
Hey, what?
Maybe if you said professor, I'd give it to you. But professional?
Professional scientist. That's what I meant.
You said science professional.
So he's a doctor.
Well, doctor in what? Now you're not getting specific enough.
A doctor in science.
Oh.
He'd have a doctorate in science if he was a professional scientist.
Okay, you know what? Let's move on to a different topic, please. Because I don't think anyone seems to be getting anywhere.
That's just you, darling.
Yeah, I know.
And he's calling somebody else. And for once, it's not somebody calling a villain randomly. I thought phone numbers only existed for villains in this universe by this point in the game. But no, he's just like calling somebody perfectly normal.
Consultation.
Yeah. On a brainwashing device. Because this is the kind of thing you randomly call somebody like, hey John, I got like this weird helmet. The kid was going like, you had no idea what was going on. No, there isn't a switch. I like this part out in the hallway though. It was funnier when I did it though, because it was Goenji and Kabayama running around over there. No, it was Kabayama and Samioka doing it. On my phone. And then Goenji walked over.
Holy shit, what was that?
And then Goenji walked over to talk to Samioka. And I was like, this looks perfectly normal. Thingummy. Or Thingomi.
I'm only a biology teacher after all.
No, he's a science professional, right? She just headbutted me.
I was laughing. This is like,
This is suddenly a dangerous line of work.
Yes, because a headbutt from Momo is gonna cause mass destructive to your shoulder.
Have you ever had her trip and fall on top of you before?
I don't even remember that. Did I black out?
No, but you've got really fucking sharp elbows, let me tell you.
Well, she tried to purposefully jump on top of me once and my knees came up and hit her in the stomach.
Oh, I remember that. That was interesting.
That's because you have very good survival instincts. Unlike anyone in this game.
Especially Endo.
No, Endo is the exact opposite of that. Endo is the theory that if you hit your head against a wall hard enough and long enough, eventually the wall will play soccer with you.
Or give you a concussion while you jump around like a monkey.
Oh, well that's a side effect of the soccer. And here we are at a sports store. They only sell soccer-related items, because that is the only sport that exists, apparently.
Or really, that's the only thing that Endo is interested in looking at.
Well, that or it's probably the only thing worth selling any equipment for.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's always good to make sure you've got updated equipment for your team members.
I wouldn't know. I've been playing with cheat codes. Your stats can't go above a certain number, so at that point it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It really doesn't.
Well, it helps out when you're trying to level up your characters.
I was kind of hoping that this game did the stats a bit like some Fire Emblems. Some Fire Emblems, if you mess around with the cheat codes, your stats will actually roll past the cap and you'll end up with like a defense of 2 points. Because you rolled over the cap back to 0. And I was wondering if this game could do it, but...
Well, no. Inazuma is not Fire
No,
Emblem.
I'm pretty sure Inazuma can. It's just I didn't mess around with it long enough.
Oh no, they're putting it on!
Yeah, this is the science professor's son, who apparently sells model robots, and that makes him an expert on brainwashing technology, except then he put it on his head.
And now he's running around like an idiot.
Because that's what an expert would do.
Yep, he's very good at doing that little spiral slide there.
A weird voice in my head.
Yes, a voice in your head. Apparently everyone is crazy, but only when they wear this. Kitted out. A whole team. Oh no!
Dun, dun, dun!
You couldn't just, I don't know, distract them?
Unplug the machines, or what?
Or just take them off their heads.
Yeah, it's like it's not even strapped on, folks! At least according to the picture. But they're like, clearly an Inazuma drop isn't violent enough to break what is already very delicate machinery. We need something even stronger. And I don't get that, but you know, this game.
Come back whenever you want me to put some other things on my head.
Oh, I don't know. You mean you can't actually buy model robots here?
I tried. It didn't work. Believe me, I came here and tried, but just
that is a shame. And I feel bad for this guy who graduated high school and possibly college only to get employed by a middle school girl.
Mm-hmm. To run around and do all of her things for her.
And he isn't paid enough either.
No, he's not. Poor guy.
I don't know. I assume we'll never see him again.
You see him on occasion, but just mostly when you go talk to Natsumi and you ask to go find recruits, and she's like,
yes,
okay, Jade, did you get that? And he comes in and he's like, yes, I'll go look now.
That guy's life is running around gang pressing middle schoolers.
Pretty much.
Admittedly, that's not the worst job I've heard of.
But now we're going to be introduced to the Hellhole Dungeon, which we will now be training in for... well...
It's a thing, is what it is. It's a randomly generated map, is what it is.
Yeah, it's different every single time you go in there, for each of the different courses.
It's randomly generated.
Full of random encounters
and
treasure chests.
That's supposed to be a statue of her grandfather, but I can't see anything.
It looks like a snail to me.
It looked like a circle and maybe something behind a circle.
I think it's a snail.
Like maybe a very tiny figure holding a very large shield, but I don't know. But anyway, this is where the original Inazuma 11 trained. And if the original Inazuma 11 had something to do with it, by gosh, Endo's gonna want to see it. And it's known as the Flash Training Facility. Because it was supposed to be, you know, lightning related, Flash, close enough.
Yeah, it's just... that's a common motif with this series, or at least with this team.
Oh yeah, it's because Raimon Junior High, it's... well, the...
boom!
The game had an entire cutscene for the lightning bolt symbol on a tower. I think we get the idea.
Well, it's Inazuma Town, so it's Lightning Town, and it's Raimon Middle School, and that's Thunder something. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but the middle school's Thunder something. So it's just the whole thunder lightning theme.
So they've had this secret facility under the school for who knows how many years, 40 years.
Ass shot.
Ass.
You were thinking the same thing.
Yeah. So it's pretty deep underground from the looks of it.
Or they just fell down one very long staircase.
And then there's people already there.
Yep. Probably also employed by a middle school girl.
I think all the people that you see working here, they're all supposed to be students of the school, so I think...
Oh, wow. No, that's great. I like that.
Because you see, like, all the players in the Flash training facility that you play up against are all characters that you've come up against before.
This is true. Except now they're wearing different outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And their names are all listed as fighter.
Yeah. Their names are never listed. So if it's a character you haven't met yet, you seem like, oh, I want to, like, see who that character is. You won't know their name.
Their name, what group they're from, because they all wear just this generic red-black outfit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And here's you stuffing Goenji full of rice balls.
Hey, before you go into this, you need to make sure your player stats that you're going in with are at their peak, because it's very easy to get worn out in this place.
That's just because it's a lot of little soccer battles in a row, and you can't leave until you're done them all, or you fail.
Mm-hmm. But what's really key about this facility is that you pick one of those various different training courses to go through with your four-member team there. But then once you get to the end, you have an official match with a compilation of players that they put together from past teams. And if you succeed in going through the entire course successfully, all of your player stats, every single player on your team, that particular stat that you're trying to train, it will apply to all of them.
Actually, I think it only counts for, like, the first 32 members.
Well, at least on your most immediate team players.
Because you can have, like, up to 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it only counts for the people on the first 2 pages, which are considered active.
Yeah, I guess what I meant by active, your active team members.
And there's gonna be a lot of that. Because you're still at the point in the game where Goenji scores all the time.
Hey, it made going through this a lot easier.
As compared to what?
Having, trying to train up your, not so high level members, by going through here.
Because it's a training facility. Obviously, you're not going to train people.
Well, no, you see, believe me, I've made this mistake, is that taking players who you know still need a lot of improving are not the best, at least getting up to the main match, because of the fact that they could easily get beaten out by these people.
Well, that's why you do mixes of people. But anyways... the rest of the random encounter battles that aren't random anymore are skipped over because they are literally all of them Goenji shoots, he scores, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, you've seen enough of that already. We're not going to bother you with that.
It's got interesting music, I'll give it that.
But
definitely
here's the main field.
Definitely very dungeony music.
So I'll make sure everyone's healed, and then we get the match started.
You went into that. You went in and out of that menu like 5 times, by the way.
Yeah, I have to double check to make sure everyone's ready.
Get your stylus. Because you're totally using a stylus. Yeah, they're all listed as fighter, because there's that Jason kid from Cult. So, because this is early on in the game, you're fighting a mix-up of Occult and Wild. Which is strange, to say the least. They're just all listed as fighter, even though you clearly know who they are. And is that supposed to be that Shadow Kid again?
Yes.
He still looks like Kanbedo to me, but Kanbedo's down over there by Kabiyama.
Yeah, well, they both kind of have spiky hair, spiky white hair.
It's white, and it's vaguely spiky, and they're tiny little sprites. What else am I supposed to be seeing? And you always stick with the butterfly formation.
It's the one that I've had the easiest time using, though I have to say, the midfield formation I also use a lot. Because it really helps you keep possession of the ball.
Well, the idea with the butterfly formation is to try and drive up the sides, and normally, with the way you play, the ball ends up back in the middle anyways. Because, there you go. Is Max gonna actually shoot? Oh, yay! We get to see Spiral Shot. I like this one. Just because Max has it, not because it's particularly shiny. Also, are you allowed to use giant butcher cleaver knives in the middle of a soccer match?
No.
No?
No, you're not.
Oh. Crap, I forgot to...
Not even allowed to have metal cleats, which people have done before and gotten in a lot of trouble for it.
Ow! I mean, if you got hit by metal cleats, that would fucking hurt.
Mm-hmm.
What are the cleats supposed to be made out of? Rubber?
Something like that. Some type of rubber or plastic mix or something.
Polymer, probably.
Something like that, yeah.
But you're also supposed to wear a lot of padding, right? Which
you're supposed to wear shin guards, which as you progress in levels, they actually get progressively smaller because you're supposed to have better ball control and control over your feet.
Nobody in this series uses shin guards.
At least not that we can see.
Well, that's the thing. When the higher level you go, the less obvious it is that you have shin guards.
That makes sense. I mean, they might have something under the socks, but I doubt it's much of anything. And there's Heat Tackle again. That really looks like it should be a Pokemon move. Wait. Heat Tackle might be a Pokemon move.
It might... I'm not sure. I think something similar to it.
There is an attack with a name like that, and I think it lowers your SP attack after you use it.
Is it like Flame Tackle or something?
It might be. I know some of the fire starters learn it. And here's that move that Keto had, and Max knows it too, because he's also a midfielder.
No, he's actually a forward.
Forward?
Yeah.
I always use him as a midfielder and a forward.
Well, he's a versatile player, so he can do both, but it's just that his listed position is a forward, so that's why
I don't trust the listed position. It's wrong more often than it's right. And you're wasting all of your TP to do that. That's the problem with
getting the ball up the field, man.
Well, that's the problem with driving up the middle, is you run through the entire opposing team, so you end up having to abuse moves like Illusion Ball. I mean, you got it in now, but Max is out of TP completely now.
And that's why we switched to another forward.
I know, I just think that's so sad that you just like completely exhaust a kid and then you switch him off the field. That seems wrong. Actually, you just switch him off to the side.
Yeah, so he can still take the ball, but you know, he's not in the main forward position anymore.
Ah, Samioka.
He was coming right for him.
Nope. You quoted it wrong. Nope, not count.
Damn.
And why did he stop running for 2 seconds?
I have no idea why that happened.
That was so badly offsides.
Why?
Okay, admittedly, I am getting a lot better about that, believe it or not.
You should have just kept the ball in Samioka and hoped he could have avoided having it stolen.
You see, that's why sometimes I'm afraid to pass the ball to the sides, because I'm like, oh god, am I gonna get an offside? Because I'm still not... Because I do understand the basic idea of how you get an offside, but sometimes I'll just, in the heat of the soccer match, I'll forget and just pass to someone out of desperation and be like, oh crap, that was an offside.
Oh, that's when you're supposed to pass backwards. When you're that far up and you've got nobody else in front of you, you're supposed to pass back off to the side.
Okay.
And it's actually not a bad idea to pass back. Sometimes it can actually give you more time to strategize.
This is very true.
Alright, I will keep that in mind.
Yeah, there's that furry kid. The leopard one, not the hawk one. The hawk one just has goggles and a hat thing.
He looks kind of cool.
And a cowl of sorts.
A cowl, yes, that is the correct word, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh boy. Coil turn. Oh, that's that move.
It's a pretty solid, steel move.
Yeah, but the problem is you're stuck in the midfield now.
Doppelganger.
Midget Ninja Kid.
Yeah, that's basically what he is. He's Inoue, I believe I remember his name. Inoue is definitely your midget ninja in this game.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't drive up the center field.
Because you just exhaust your TP trying to get through all of these people. I mean, in real life, you just exhaust yourself trying to get through all these people. In the video game, you exhaust your TP. And possibly form points if everybody's out of TP and you're just trying to rough it out like that. You still insist that Shadow Kid is good, right?
He is a good technique, which is why I keep him around, but...
He hasn't learned it yet.
No, which was quite a shame.
And he's only good for shooting. Who fouled?
There are certainly a lot of better strikers than him in the game.
No, seriously, who fouled?
Oh, we felt them.
Okay.
Tackle slide.
Oh.
Slide tackle, whatever.
That happens a lot. Teleport shot. This one always looks weird. Also, the little liney smoke stuff reminds me of Wind Waker animation. It does. And this guy needs a different block technique because it ain't working.
Not in the slightest.
Isn't he supposed to have warp space?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does, and I don't believe he uses it in this match, at least not to my memory.
Oops is his response.
Oops. Yeah, the funny part is the people you fight in the plot are all like jerks and stuff, and then you fight them down here as quote-unquote the fighter. And they're very polite. Like when you beat them, they're just like, oh, I guess we lost.
Oops.
That's it. How many legs does that man have?
I don't care.
Why?
I like quick draw.
It's a very useful move.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen it foul up, which is what I mainly prefer. Because I think if you're like of a noticeably higher level than your opponent, your foul rate tends to spike a little. Which is why Taikoku kept fouling you up in the first match. And I've had the same problem where I kept fouling up other people. I've learned to just not hand the ball to Samioka unless he's going to shoot.
Yeah, that, in hindsight, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, it's probably something the game does to try and even the playing field a little, so even if you're of the wrong level to be challenging someone, they'll mess themselves up a little. The game doesn't expect you to be encountering the same problem. Because you're not supposed to be 20 to 30 levels higher than the enemy. Also, that looks incredibly dangerous, but it reminds me of how I feel every winter with static electricity.
You know what? That's
No, I'm pretty sure that's what that move is, because he's sliding around the ground to like build up static, except that shouldn't work because they're rubber cleats.
Yeah, they're rubber
And
cleats.
they're on grass.
Grass.
But that's what it reminds me of.
If it were carpet, then I'd understand, but no,
Well,
that's
even if it
definitely
was
grass.
AstroTurf, I mean, it's still, they're rubber cleats, so...
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
rubber cleats, so...
That makes no sense.
It's because they're the lightning team. Also because shut up.
Because it can.
Because shut up.
Because you do not question bullshit magical soccer.
And the ball gets the fuck out of there.
It's like, I've had enough of this shit, I'm leaving.
Yeah, they're just
Lightning and whirlwind tornadoes and fire and dragons.
Setting me on fire!
We haven't seen any trees popping out of the ground yet, though.
No, we haven't.